holding a microphone in front of 300 dressed-up wedding. Guess was supposed to be the moment. I gave a sweet speech, but instead I was about to drop a bomb. My older sister Savannah sat right in the front row, wearing a perfect smile while sipping expensive champagne, completely clueless about what was coming. 12 hours earlier, I had overheard her plotting with my parents to ruin my big day, but they forgot one crucial detail about me. The night before the ceremony, I decided to drive over to my parents' house to drop off a small gift for my family. I let myself in through the back door and heard hushed, serious voices coming from my father's private office. My mother was reassuring my father while Savannah laid out a plan to intercept my final venue, payment, so my credit card would bounce. At 10 in the morning, they actually believed that humiliating me in front of my new in-laws would teach me a lesson about money. For as long as I could remember, my family treated me like the awkward underachiever while Savannah was placed on a massive pedestal. Whenever Savannah made a minor achievement at work, my parents threw lavish dinners. But whenever I accomplished something major, they completely dismissed it. What my family never quite understood was that my obscure job in data analysis was actually a high-level position in federal financial intelligence, where I tracked down global money laundering operations every single day. Standing in the quiet hallway outside that office, listening to my own parents agree to transfer my wedding funds into Savannah personal account, my heart completely shattered. They thought my venue card would be declined and my groom family would see me as an unreliable mess. I quietly stepped back out into the cold night air, dropped my gift in the driveway, and drove straight back to my hotel with a cold, terrifying clarity settling over my mind. Instead of breaking down, I pulled out my secure laptop and started following the digital money trail with surgical precision. It took me less than 15 minutes to trace the wire transfer straight into a newly opened high-yield savings account under Savannah name. But when I looked closer at her account history, I stumbled upon an even bigger secret that made my jaw drop. For over 2 years, Savannah had been secretly siphoning small, steady amounts of money directly out of our parents' retirement savings. My sister was not just trying to sabotage my wedding, she was actively draining our parents' life savings, right under their noses while they praised her as the golden child. I immediately called my fiancé Brandon, explained the entire situation, and he instantly wired funds from his personal account to secure our venue. With our wedding saved, I spent the rest of the night building a presentation that would lay out every single financial transaction in plain sight. I created 2 clean slides containing dates, account numbers, and exact dollar amounts showing both my stolen wedding money and the stolen retirement funds. My family expected to watch me suffer a public breakdown at the altar, but I was preparing to deliver the ultimate revelation. The wedding ceremony went off without a single glitch, and soon everyone was gathered in the grand ballroom for the evening reception. Savannah gave a glowing maid of honor toast, talking about how much she loved me and how she would always protect her baby sister. My parents had tears in their eyes as the crowd applauded her touching speech, completely unaware of the massive storm brewing right behind the curtain. When it was finally my turn to speak, I walked calmly to the podium, plugged a small USB drive into the projector, and smiled at the crowd. I started by thanking my new in-laws and expressing my deep love for Brandon, letting my family relax into a false sense of security. Then my voice shifted from warm and gentle to sharp and professional as I announced that real trust requires total transparency. I clicked the remote, and the projector screen immediately displayed a massive flowchart showing $50,000 moving directly from my wedding fund into Savannah bank account. Gasps echoed across the entire ballroom as Savannah went completely pale, her glass freezing halfway to her mouth. I explained to the crowd that my family always mocked my career, but my job was finding stolen money, and I had found mine. Before anyone could process the first slide, I clicked the remote again to reveal the 2-year record of transfers from my parents' retirement fund into Savannah account. My father stared at the screen in complete horror as he realized his favorite daughter had been robbing him blind for years. In front of 300 horrified guests, the illusion of the perfect golden child completely shattered into pieces. I picked up my glass, toasted my brand new husband, and walked right off the stage without saying another single word. Brandon grabbed my hand, and together we walked out of the venue, leaving my ruined family to face the absolute chaos they had created. His parents met us outside with warm hugs, giving me the unconditional love and real support that my own blood relatives had denied me my entire life. A year later, I was standing in my new office in London, looking out at the rain as the newly appointed director of an international financial crimes division. I had completely cut off contact with my old family, changing my number and moving on with a peaceful, successful life. One afternoon, a text came through from my father, apologizing for everything and explaining that they were taking legal action against Savannah. I read his message twice, waiting to feel angry or vindicated, but all I felt was a deep, quiet sense of detachment. The desperate daughter who constantly searched for her parents' approval no longer existed, having walked away the night of the wedding. I archived the text message without replying, turned back to my work, and embraced the bright future I had built entirely on my own.